Hey everybody, what's going on? It is the third Thursday of every month, and so that means we're back with another edition of Past the Scope EDU. And this month, the month of September, we're talking about, you can see up there, hashtag EduEvolve. I got to turn down the volume on my phone for a second. I always forget to do that. Sorry about that. Anyway, EduEvolve. So Past the Scope EDU, if you don't know us, we are a group of educators who get together monthly around a hashtag, and we scope or live stream our thoughts and ideas around that hashtag. So I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to ramble on and on probably for a few minutes, but I'm going to do my best to explain my thoughts around this idea of EduEvolve or EDU evolve. First of all, you can see my information right there, Leader of Learning, leaderoflearning.com, and my social accounts. If you're not already listening to or subscribed to the Leader of Learning podcast, I would really appreciate you listening and subscribing. The Leader of Learning podcast is a place where educators can come to find inspiration to transform education through effective leadership. And I have a really fun time producing and hosting that podcast, and kind of like I do on that show, I'm going to talk to you guys right now about my thoughts and feelings when it comes to EduEvolve. I don't even have a lot to say on the matter, but I have one important thing to say about it. When I think of the word evolve, I think of how things change over time. And I know, and I just heard this recently, that we hear all the time that education is always changing. Someone in my own school building just asked me the other day, or asked our department of ELA teachers the other day, once we start doing this new program, should we really get used to it, or will there probably be some other program that comes down the road another year or 2 or 3 from now? And listen, I've been in 5 different schools now over a 14-year career. Hey, what's up, Brian? I see Brian watching. Thank you so much for joining. I've been in 5 schools, and I told them, guys, it's the same everywhere. It's not unique to any one school or one district or one state. Education is always evolving. Our students over time need us, the educators, to give them new things, new ways to learn, new topics to learn about. Heck, our world is changing so much that they need new skills just to keep up in their place in the world. And I'm not going to go into that so much, but really my point is, don't get comfortable. Don't get too comfortable doing the same thing over and over. It kind of sounds cliche to say maybe, but I think it bears reminding that it's okay to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? It's okay being comfortable with being uncomfortable. In other words, as an educator, you have to know, you have to have your mindset such that you anticipate change and you're okay with change. As I just mentioned, on a personal level, I'm at a new school this year, and that means it's now my 5th school in my 14-year career. That's a lot of jumping around. And sometimes I think about the fact that, I don't know about you, but I need to be moving around. I need that change. I don't want things to become stagnant or want to get comfortable doing any one thing. And I know that's just me, and some people prefer to stay in one place. I actually joke with my wife sometimes. I say it's amazing I've stayed with her as long as I've been. We've been married now 15 years and together for almost 22 years. And that my family is one of the most constant things in my life, and I appreciate that. But when it comes to my career, I really do embrace change. And when I think about EduEvolve, that's what I think of. I think that education is changing all the time, and we as educators need to stay up with that change as best we can. I'm actually a doctoral student writing a dissertation on a topic that's very similar and goes hand in hand with evolving, and that is leadership practices to help inspire a growth mindset. What is a growth mindset? Well, it's the idea that people can adapt, people can learn new things and grow and get better at certain things rather than just being born with an innate ability to be good at certain things. So take sports, for example. The best baseball player right now is Mike Trout. Now, Mike Trout probably was born with a lot of natural athletic abilities, but that's not to say he didn't work hard to get there. And that's not to say that someone else who's a Major League Baseball player didn't have to work really hard practicing and getting better at their craft as an athlete to be able to make it into the major leagues. That may or may not be a great example, but when you think about school and you think about students, and I think about teachers, in my line of work as a coach, I'm all about the adult learning. I think about the fact that teachers can't come into the profession thinking they know everything. Now, you might be a content area expert, but as I said, education and the teaching practice changes so often that you need to keep upping your game all the time and keep developing yourself. I do that in several ways, and I would recommend that if you are not a connected educator, that you get onto social media or you find ways to connect with other educators outside of your building and outside of your area, attend conferences, anything you can do to keep developing yourself. I think all of this stuff gets back to, again, that hashtag right there, EduEvolve, and the fact that yeah, Brian, I'm just seeing that comment now. Imagine if he stayed healthy. I know, man. He's on my fantasy team too. Yeah, he was having an amazing year, and that's of course speaking about Mike Trout. But you can think of that same example in any sport too. You think of basketball, although he's toward the end of his career now, maybe LeBron James as the best basketball player, or any sport. Again, these athletes who are amazingly talented, yes, they were born with natural abilities, for sure. But they, and of course other athletes who may not have been born with that innate ability, have to really work at it, and they have to grow and evolve over time. So that's my point. I hope that I'm making sense. I hope that you get my point. This is my advice to everyone, is to, as an educator, please push yourself to grow and evolve so that you can then in turn inspire your students to grow and evolve. That's about all I really have for you, to be honest. I really appreciate you listening and watching this video. Again, PassTheScope.edu, hashtag PassTheScope.edu. Follow us today and every third Thursday of the month as we discuss EduEvolve and other pertinent educational topics. You can follow me right there, leaderoflearning.com, and those are my social accounts, and just keep learning and growing. And if you're passionate about what you do, I think this will make a lot of sense. I just really hope that you continue to evolve and help the education community and the education profession continue to evolve so that we really can stay current and stay relevant to the needs of our students. Thank you guys for watching. I believe Dr. Tatul Ntoya is up next on our Pass the Scope EDU, so I am going to pass the scope to him. I forget what time he's at, but he is at Tatul, no, T Ntoya, I believe. Help me out, somebody. Anyway, follow my good friend Tatul as he comes up and gives his take on hashtag EduEvolve. And all throughout the day, like I said, Pass the Scope EDU. Follow that hashtag on Twitter or Periscope, and you'll hear more of these. If you want to get involved at Pass the Scope EDU and come on every month and share your thoughts and ideas, please visit PassTheScopeEDU.com. There's a link to sign up. You can get more information. You can watch more videos, but get involved. We could really use more of these educators who are connecting and sharing and helping education grow and evolve. Thank you guys so much.